Hey Internet! In this video, we will go over a tier list for PvP in Genshin Impact. Now I know what you're thinking. PvP doesn't exist in Genshin Impact. Yet. When it does, this is what I think it will be. And obviously, when it does get implemented in Genshin Impact, there will be new characters that aren't on this list. Feel free to comment that I need to update it when that time comes. And I've done 3 tier lists. So for solo CQC close combat 1v1, here is my tier list and I will explain. Alright, so S being the best and D or E being the worst. So Ito, Eula, Hu Tao, Ayaka, Raiden, Tartaglia, and Xiao. Now, so obviously it's a 1v1 and it's close quarters, so you don't have any time to prep. You're literally just standing side by side. I picked these characters because they deal some of the highest single target damage. And Tartaglia is, I guess, he is a DPS for single targets. Okay, nothing special about that. A tier, Kai's actually pretty good. He's got pretty good DPS. Same with Rosario. Razor has abilities that increases his DPS. Kaching's got some rapid bursts. And D-Luke has a rapid elemental skill. Okay, again, you kind of already know what my kind of chain of thought is. B is a little bit more interesting. This is a little bit more nuanced, I guess. So, Ningguang, just because she can outburst, her burst can basically be a single target homing. So that's why I put her in B, but her normal attacks are kind of slow. Noelle, she's like the jack of all trades, master of none. She's got a shield, she can heal, she can do kind of decent DPS. Her burst is quite long. Fischl, her normal attacks is pretty fast, and C6 Fischl can really link up with Fischl, so Oz, so they can just attack in tandem. Ganyu, well, she is my main, and I put her in B, but the reason is that her charge shot has an AoE and it does quite a bit of damage. Her elemental skill is a taunt, so you could taunt the enemy and get maybe one charge shot in. But if you're using the top tier characters, you should probably lose. Jean, well, she can heal, and she has a crowd control, a single target crowd control. So that's why I put her in B. And her burst can have some resistance shred. Once again, Kazuha, because he's got some crowd control. Same with Zhongli, can stun characters. Albedo, he's got some form of shielding and some AoE damage with his flower. Again, Venti with crowd control. Wai Zhangling, it's got Goba, and her normal attacks are pretty fast. Same with Yoimiya, her normal attacks are pretty fast. So they might have a chance. Alright, going down. So for C tier, I put Shinha because her damage isn't good, but her attack speed's alright. And, well, her abilities aren't that good when she's alone. We all know she's amazing when paired with other cryo characters. Chungin's good, but He's a little bit slow because he's a Claymore. And Klee, I would have put Klee in B, but like I feel like she would get staggered by these characters because they would do so much DPS or they would just instantly die from Ganyu. And I put Jinya in here. I know this is gonna be quite a contested one. Klee, I really wanted to put her up here. It's like, I know the comments are gonna be like screaming, "You're an idiot. Why are you putting Klee in C?" Please note, this is just my opinion. Feel free to comment your own tier list or make corrections in the comments and we'll have a look at them. But no, this is just solo 1v1. There's another 2 tier lists that I have to go through. Jinyan, she's a C. She's got a shield, but she's a Claymore, so she's kind of slow. Bennett, I just put him in C because he can heal. He kinda is a DPS if you build him like that. His attack speed's a little bit low as well. I wanted to put Beto higher, but she is defensive rather than offensive. She relies on people attacking her to make more damage, so that's why I put her in C. And Toma, again, shield, kinda good DPS speed, but damage is a bit low. This one is another contested opinion, the Traveler. I put them in C because right now they're kinda like not that good, Animo, Geo, and Electro. But I'm sure in the future when they get all the elements, they might rise higher, depending on what those elements can do. I put Xingqiu here because, yeah, his swords are good, but his DPS isn't that fast. And Yanfei's just here. Well, if you got C4 Yanfei, she's a tank, so that's why she's here. And same reason why, actually, yeah, I don't know why Goro and Yunjin is a little bit lower. I guess she's a spear user, that's why she's higher. Okay, and I pretty much put most of the archers here. Yeah, all the archers. And Chi-Chi. Surprisingly, she has actually got a really high DP, high attack, but her damage isn't that good if over time. Alright. Kokomi, she's alright, but her job is to heal, not really to do DPS. And E tier. Alright, yeah. So E is the lowest one. One sec, guys. Okay, we are back. So yeah, Barbara, not the highest DPS in the world. I mean, Sucrose can swirl, and I feel like she definitely deserves to be at least a D or C. But when you're against all these other characters, that's why I put her lower down here. Same with Mona. And why is Sayu down here? Her attack speed's low. That's all I can say. I mean, you can argue that with Beto, but at least Beto's got a parry and counter, and her ultimate's pretty good. And Jinyan's got some, like, on-hit DPS. I know, these opinions are so hot garbage. That's alright. It's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Okay, moving on to the next tier list. So this is range. Of course I couldn't let my main Ganyu sitting in B tier, so I had to create a different tier list just to make her S tier. So this is solo 1v1 range. So there's definitely distance between each other. And I put Ganyu here, obviously because her charge shots does a major AoE, and her damage overall is pretty high. I put Yoimiya in S tier because her charge shots are homing. And I put all the range characters here because it's a range duel. And then I put the Catalyst, so yeah, there we go. And then basically every melee character from C to E. It doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, it doesn't really matter whether they're C or E. They're basically melee versus range. The range characters would win. Yeah. In a range scenario. I know tier list always makes people's blood boil. It's just an opinion, guys. Alright, but let me just go through my train of thought then. D-Luke has a Phoenix that he can throw out. Xingqiu's got swords that he can throw. Xiangling's got a Tornado, so mid-range, I guess, and a Goba. Zhongli's got a Meteor. Y Bennett in C. I don't know. He's kind of like mid. Not for any particular reason. Noelle in C because she's got a shield, so maybe she can last long enough to survive. Eula, no particular reason. She's a melee character. Albedo's in C because of his flower. And Keqing's is in C because of her Stiletto teleport. Sayu is in C because she can roll around and maybe catch the ranger. Why is Shinhe here? Her AoE is kind of big, I guess. And of course, Traveler's just here because. D, no particular reason. It's just they don't have any range abilities, to be honest. Well, Jean's got a AoE control, crowd control, but it might not be able to reach. I guess Shao can like dash forward, but then it would use all his dashes, and he wouldn't have any DPS left. And Yunjin, Kazuha, Kaya, Razor, Ito, Chongyun, and Aika, they're in E just because they sort of lack any range abilities. It's quite short range, to be honest. Okay. And then finally we got our team comps, or like 1v1 with 4 characters. So of course we got our national team, because why not? Your usual suspects. Zhongli's here because he's got the best shield. National team, Bennett Raiden, Xiangling, and Kazuha, well, Xingqiu and Kazuha. And then I put the Freeze team, the Morgana team, I guess, in A. Then we've got, I guess, the Spark or Overload team. So Official and Yoimiya. And then of course you got the Grouping Up squad, the NOL Cyclone team. You got your Geo team, Mono Geo. I put Hu Tao in C because she is situational and she balances between life and death. And in PvP, you know, walking that line is risky. Alright. D. Honestly, Beidou is in D because she's kind of niche. Same with Sayu. Tank Fei, obviously C4. You've got your Zombie and Elf chibis here, just because their DPS is a bit low, or healing's a bit low. Well, but her healing is higher than Barbara, that's for sure. And D-Luke is here. He's kind of niche, even more niche than Hu Tao. And Hu Tao's DPS is better than D-Luke's. In E tier, like, why pick Barbara when you got Chi-Chi or Sangong no Mie, Kokomi. That's her name. Again, Amber, low DPS, better option is Ganyu. Same for Aloy, Sarah, Jinyan, and why did I put Kaching here? I think she is here because she lacks team synergy, maybe? To be honest, I really forgot why I put her here, and that's a little bit contentious. Maybe Electro's just not that strong, because we got Beto, Sarah. Do we have, I guess Fischl is in B, and Raiden's. That's fair. Yeah, that's a fair point. Razor because, again, Electro's just, like, not the strongest right now. And yeah, this is recorded in 2.4 or patch 2.4, so obviously in the future when you watch this and new characters come out, they'll be missing, and maybe I'll do a future PvP tier list. And it's a tier list that I guess not everyone's going to agree with, and I definitely know PvP won't come into Genshin Impact because, let's be real, if it did, the whales would just absolutely stomp everyone. Through the power of money, they would just obliterate all the free-to-plays. I guess maybe they will do a PvP in the future, but like it'll be a balanced PvP where everyone's C6 and has R5s. Or they will nerf the whales so it'll be fair in a way that everyone gets like triple crowned and C6, and then maybe like an R1 weapon or an R5 weapon. But I doubt PvP will be in Genshin Impact soon. It will probably be way down the line, like end of Shishnia. Like once every character's released, probably maybe they'll do like a half a year or yearly PvP event or something, not even a permanent one. But yeah, I guess this is like a preemptive tier list, and it's all but of fun. I know this is just my opinion, and you can feel free to disagree with them. Leave a comment on who you would pick in these tier lists. Alright, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, ring the bell, turn on all notifications. Like I said, leave a comment who you think should be on these tier lists. Hope you had a great day. Until next time, see ya.